It's November, and our big harness racing stakes season is beginning to wind down. But here in Harrisburg, we are just getting started with one of the biggest yearling sales in the sport. I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update, and it's day one of the Standardbred Horse Sales Company auction. This first session kicking off at noon in the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex featured over 150 yearlings walking through the sales ring. And there were a couple youngsters who brought over $500,000, including hip number 82, Apex, a Walner colt out of the world champion Mission Brief, consigned by Hunterton Sales Agency. The yearling sold for $525,000 and was bought by Jeff Snyder. Another Walner, this time a filly, lit up the board with a price of $760,000. Hip number 53, consigned by Concord Stud Farm, is a half-sister to several standouts, including a $100 bill. The trotter, out of the dam Swinging Royalty, is named Swinging Loyalty. She will be trained by Linda Toscano and was purchased by Richard Gutnick. Richard, my first question is, are you going to keep her name Swinging Loyalty, or are you going to change it?
I'm keeping it Swinging. I actually like a name.
Okay, because Richard is known for naming horses after different personal things in his life. Like he named Lady Chaos after his wife Susie, is that right?
That is correct. And she loved the name, so I just said, your namesake is racing tonight. And she said, let me know when, and I'll watch it with you.
Lady Chaos, yes. And also you had Chapter 7, and that horse was also a personal name for you, right?
Well, yes. At the time, I was a bankruptcy trustee for the state of Delaware, and it was a horse which had a couple problems. The first problem was it jumped over the fence, and Linda said it needed stitches. The second one was it needed a throat operation. And I was trying to come up with a name, and I mentioned about 50 different names to my wife. And when I mentioned Chapter 7, she said, that's terrible. You can't name it that. And I said, you're right. You just named it because all you did was laugh. And, so then other horses, I do change names. Other times I do keep them the same.
Okay.
Market share, I kept the same.
Okay. So now we know a few great horses associated with Richard. Hopefully this will be one of the next great horses here, Swinging Loyalty. I kind of feel like this is the one that you weren't leaving the sale without.
Virtually, that is true. I went far higher than I expected to spend. And I just finally decided, screw it. Excuse my French.
When's the first time you laid eyes on her?
I went to Concord Stud, and as soon as I saw her come out of the stall, I loved her. We had her turned out, and she just moved very, very well. And so, I now have 2 more fillies.
Well, we know that you love the way that she looked. How about her breeding? What about that side of her?
Her breeding was excellent. To me, the only knock on her was she didn't have dual eligibility. But it's like Linda Toscano says, it's going to be difficult to get your money back. But sometimes you do things which are out of the ordinary just because you want to do it and you want a top horse. My other partners, want to, like Tommy Pontone, he wants to win the Oaks. More than he's already won the Hambo a couple times, so he doesn't care about that. He wants the Oaks. So now he's going to have the opportunity.
When you're in there and you're bidding, and obviously there's some kind of little war going on and you're not really sure who it is, but, that's got to get your adrenaline going.
No, it made me more nervous. To me, I told my partners where I was probably going to go up to 650. This is 110,000 more. So if they don't want to go in, they don't have to. But most of them, I think, will. They may take a little smaller piece, and won't bother me to have a little higher piece. in this one.
Well, overall, I know that you spent more on her than you were expecting to, but I think you're really thrilled. You seem really happy.
I'm very happy to get her. If it went up one more bid, I would not have had it, because I had decided, when it was ready to go down the hammer, and I finally just said, it's time. Let's do it. Let's leave with one that I considered the best in the sale.
All right, we're going to make this full circle. We started talking about his wife, Susie, in the beginning of the interview, and we're going to end it talking about her, because I feel like this was very calculated, this yes, you know what I'm going to say, about getting this filly, because you bought Susie a beautiful necklace, didn't you, recently? And I kind of feel like in the back of your mind, you're thinking...
That was because I had also bought myself a beautiful car. When you get to this stage of your life, you want to enjoy life. It's about having fun, and if it wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And I have a great trainer in Linda, and I have great partners. My partners always say, if you're in, we're in.
Concord Stud had another $500,000 yearling go through the sales ring with hip number 133. The chimpanzee filly, named Art of the State, is out of the dam Amore Hanover, making this yearling a half-sister to Periculum, who won the Maple Leaf Trot. She was bought for $525,000 by Marcus Melander. But it was hip number 104, who was not just the session topper, but this colt became the first $1 million yearling ever to be sold at Harrisburg. Cambridge Hanover, a son of Walner out of Crucial, showed up with a 7-digit price. Andrew Harris is the proud new trainer, and he signed the ticket for owner Bill Pollock. I don't know who's shaking more, me or you, because I'm pretty excited. I just watched History.
Yeah, I was shaking when I was signing that, that's for sure. I knew that I was in trouble because I called Bill on the phone and I was talking to him about the horses in the ring, and he's like, if we get cut off, make sure you get this thing. Don't lose this bid. So I knew we were coming home with them. So, but it's still nerve-wracking when you sign one for that kind of a price.
So did you really think you were going to go to $1 million?
I told them, when I told Bill and Bruce, I was like, listen guys, I think it's around 800, but I said, don't be shocked if it's 7 figures. I was like, I think it's the best horse. I've never seen a horse move like this. And I think that with the family, we had Bogish and this year, who's been very good for us, and I love her, and the same family, and then obviously you got Marilyn in the family. So the family's been awesome. And then when you see that horse in the video, and then we saw him in the field, and he was just, I mean, the way he just takes off like that, puts his head down and doesn't miss a beat, I was in love.
Yeah, let's talk about the female side of that family. I mean, it's just so on point that you don't get any better, really, do you?
No, it's been a can't-miss family. I mean, almost everything hits out of it, and if it doesn't hit, then it goes to be a broodmare and then produces something amazing. So it's kind of been a rock-solid family. Probably my favorite family to look forward to every year now that we're in that ballpark. But, yeah, I love the family, and I think that it's probably the most exciting horse I've seen in a long time.
So, of course, this is a colt, so obviously, is it like the Hambletonian is what a big goal is when you pay this much for a horse?
I think when you buy any trotter, that's the goal, is to get to the Hambletonian. Price doesn't really change that, but obviously when you're paying that kind of price, you're hoping that with those aspirations and stuff like that. But as 2-year-olds, I mean, it's the last 2 years you've had a 2-year-old make $1 million. I mean, it's been that kind of a year now where the trotting colts especially go for so much money. You got the Mohawk Million, and you got the $600,000 William Wallwood, and then the Breeders' Crown $700,000, and it's just been one of those things where it's a little bit more on the purse side, so it's a little bit easier to take the hit, but at the same time, it's still $1 million. It's still a lot of money for a horse. So, but we're grateful that Bill gave us the opportunity for it, and I'm thrilled to have him.
So any horse that you get, let's say Lexington here at Harrisburg, what's the next step? So they get on a trailer and they go back to Jersey, and what happens?
Yeah, I bought 2 here today, and they'll ship home today. Tomorrow they'll probably have harnesses on and they'll be walking around. So we don't mess around. Usually they get a little sick when they're here, and I like to get the harnesses on them while they're there and get them while they're a little bit down and not as much energy, so that they're easy to break. And then they'll get a 2-week break shortly after that and let them get over everything. But yeah, so they'll start pretty much right tomorrow.
Yeah. Just for people watching this is basically an industry video anyway, but this is just like preschool. You send your kids to preschool, they're going to get colds and they get sick. When the babies come to the sale, it's just a part of the gig, right? You know, you're going to have a little sickness. I know a lot of trainers, they'll have their babies away from their racehorses a lot of times when they first come home from the sale.
Yeah, we do too. We're lucky at Gateway. We got a barn with two sides to it. So we got the babies on one side, and then we got everything that's still racing on the other side. So it's kind of nice, and thankful the Gateway's afforded us that opportunity because it's been a perfect situation.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Very happy. And I know this isn't always about me, but I am so glad I was here to witness history. This is so cool. And thanks for making that happen.
Oh, thank you. Thanks to Bill. Bill made it happen. I'm just sailing the ship, but he's the captain.
I love it. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
I interviewed Andrew Harris. He is extremely happy. It's safe to say that you're feeling the same thing.
We're ecstatic, yes. Very, very happy that the colt sold so well and that it got into good hands, and looking forward to see what he's going to do.
Were you shocked that $1 million came up, or were you maybe expecting it would be that much?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for in that range, but it was a surprise that he made the $1 million mark. So very, very exciting. Everybody back here was cheering.
I love it. Tell us a little bit about Cambridge Hanover. As he was a baby growing up, anything special that you saw immediately?
Just he's a very smart colt, and very quick. I mean, on his video, you can see he just turns on the afterburners and goes and loves to trot. So really, really happy to see him sell well. And and his mom's a great mare too. She's just a very smart mare.
I've got a list of horses here. I can't go through all of them. You guys had such a good day. I'm telling you, not even such a good day. It was a fantastic day, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But it's out of this list. We've got Sea Bistro Hanover, Sorcery Hanover, Abriella Hanover went for $400,000. Even Eris Hanover, $330,000. Oh my gosh! Is there anyone that you want to pick out that you really adore, and you're like, wow, I knew that she would go for that much, or he?
The Abriella Hanover, the Aria Hanover filly, she's little, but man, she just loves to go in the paddock. When we would take her out to paddock, she loves to have the job and just shows herself off really well, really quick. A lot different than her brother, but I'm hoping that she's, in the big stakes next year. And Eris Hanover, we gotta love the Hannelore. So I was glad to see her sell so well.
Thank you so much, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. We appreciate everyone's support, and really couldn't do it without the staff. The staff has been great this year.
Yeah. Thank you, Patti.
Thanks.
In Delaware, sometimes we say, who would have thunk it? What a day. It's been amazing.
Tremendous day. It's just beyond my expectations. I thought we were going to have a good sale, but this is way beyond what I thought we would have.
What were your thoughts when you saw the $1 million horse go up there?
I got emotional.
Yeah. It's history. It's history. And that's what I said. Like, if you were here in the farm complex today at Harrisburg on this day, like, this was history in the making.
Yeah, it gets to you when it hits something like that, and everybody's clapping and cheering, and it just, it's something. It was a goal I've always had since I've been involved, even before I was president of the company. I wanted to see $1 million yearling go through that sale.
So this is kind of like, all right, we're on a high note right now. Is it carrying into day two, do you think?
I think so. We got some quality horses in day two, and actually some real quality horses on Wednesday that could have been on day two, and it was day two horses that could have sold today. But yeah, it's going to be an incredible sale, I think. Yeah. I'm really happy. I'm happy for the consigners, but I'm thankful to the bidders and buyers.
Yeah. Okay, one thing that we definitely should be plugging is theblackbook.com. So much information on there.
Yeah, we work hard at that, and Triscari does it for us, but we're on them almost every day about putting something new up or trying something new, and it's been very successful for us.
If you can't be here, you can just watch it live stream. You can actually bid online as well. Basically, you can do everything there.
Yes, you can register for online bidding, and everything comes here to the office, and we get you approved, and You can it's also you can call in and do phone bidding. It's a lot of options.
Okay. All right. Wow. I still have perma smile from
Yeah.
watching that.
Yeah, it's great. It's just great. Like I say, and not just that horse. There was a lot of great horses went through the sale ring today, and I think almost all of them were above expectations. I mean, I thought this colt had a chance at $1 million, and then when Concord sold Jonas's colt for $760, I said we're going to make $1 million.
Yeah. Because we had $1 million one. We had a couple with the 761. We had a couple over $500,000.
Right.
So yeah, if it goes into day 2 like this on a high note, the wholesale is going to be just incredible. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
All right. Thanks, Dale.
Thank you.
Woo! What a day! Well, that concludes our video highlights from the first session at the 2024 Standardbred Horse Sales Yearling Auction. We will be back tomorrow. In the meantime, for complete coverage, you can go to harnessracingupdate.com. I'm Heather Vitale for HRU.